You grew up in LA. A lot
Yeah,
of people don't know this. You were a rock star at one
I
point.
was.
You were a rock star. Um, but how'd you find your career in theater?
Well, that was interesting because what happened, and it was pretty much an evolutionary process, to be honest with you. It has started with the understanding of my ability to learn how to play a game. When I was about 5 years old, 4.5, 5 years old, I started to play baseball. I couldn't play baseball, couldn't catch a ball, couldn't throw a ball, didn't know what exactly the game was of baseball, didn't know anything about it. And so I started to play with the ball. And then I started to play with it every day. And then I started to learn about the game of baseball. And I was a little kid. So I was intrigued by the game itself. And like a lot of you kids are intrigued with your computers and your phones, and you play the games on that phone. Well, I play baseball like you play with the games on your telephone. Okay, same way. You guys spend maybe 2, 3, maybe sometimes 4 hours, maybe more, playing with the phone and interacting with the telephone in different ways. But a lot of it is spent in gaming. And those guys that play a lot of games have spent a lot of time, thousands of hours playing, so they're so good at it. Well, I did the same thing, only I did it for baseball. At the age of 5, I started to play. By the time I was 14 years old, I was really a professional baseball player. I mean, I was playing with the minors, the California Sun League, with Gary Knopp and Bobby Knopp, and catching Eddie Roebuck. And I was 13 years old, 14 years old. I was a Golden State batting champion 2 years in a row in the state of California. And I went from not being able to play to playing it really well. How did I do it? Not by doing it 5 days a week, not by doing it 6 days a week. I did it 7 days a week. And I learned something that was so important in my life. What was that? It was that I learned to do the things I loved to do when I didn't feel like doing them. Mm-hmm. And that made all the difference in the world. That was it. Once I learned that, and I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I was doing something 7 days a week, not 5, not 6, 7. Like I brush my teeth. I brush my teeth every day. If you brush your teeth every day, hopefully you do. Some people brush it twice a day. Ooh. Every day, 7 days a week. Now, no one likes to brush their teeth and gets, like, oh man, this feels so good. Oh my God. No, you don't get ecstatic out of brushing your teeth. No, you do it because you have to. Well, imagine doing something you love to do and forcing yourself to do it when you don't feel like doing it. Like you do brushing your teeth. Mm-hmm. You say, well, that only takes me a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay, fine. So it takes you 10 to 15 or 20 minutes to do the thing you really like to do for any length of time. Well, guess what? At 20 minutes, 30 minutes turns into an hour, 2 hours. And I hit the 10,000 hour mark playing baseball by the time I was 10 years old. I was really good at playing.
Yeah, you could have gone professional.
I was professional. I was playing in the minors and being geared into the majors. I was in the Dodger Farm Club. And everybody, including my dad, thought I was going to be a ball player. I did too. But then I got in. I was dancing at the same time. At the age of 10, I learned how to dance with my father. And by doing that, I learned about music. So the year was about 1956, 55. I was listening to KFWB. They had just switched over to this new format of rock and roll. And I was listening to Little Richard, and I was listening to James Brown, and I was listening to Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly and the Crickets and little Richie Valens and all of these kids from 55, 56, 57 playing rock and roll. And it was infectious. I love rock and roll. So when in 1960, I put down my cleats, I put down my glove, I put down my bat, and I started to play music and dance in a rock and roll band. And that's how I got into rock and roll business. And I started doing that for about 10, 12 years solidly, every day. It's the way I played baseball. That's how I played my music. Did the same thing. It wasn't to be the best in the world that I was trying to commit to. All I was trying to do is be the best that I could be. That was it. And to this day, my acting is the same way. I'm not trying to be the best actor in the world. I'm just trying to be the best artist that I can be. That's all, in this lifetime. And I did it for music. I did it for baseball. I did it for music. And I went into theater. When I graduated from high school, I went into college, East LA Community College in Cal State, LA. And when I went into community college, I took my first acting class while I was still performing on the Sunset Strip 7 nights a week for 4 years in a row at Gazzarri's on the Sunset Strip. I was a rock and roll singer. And so I'd be playing at night, I'd be going to school during the day, and I'd be doing my classes of theater in the school. And so theater, music, movement, all of it started to mix together. And that's culminated itself in 1978 when I did a piece of work that took music, dancing, theater, drama, and comedy thing called El Pachuco and Zoot Suit, and it changed the course of American theater, but it changed the course of my life. I never look back after that day. That day, when I walked out on stage with that character for the first time, my life was never the same after that.
Zoot Suit, starring Edward James Olmos, Tyne Daly, and Daniel Valdez. Zoot Suit.